finger shut. It is a hot one. Definitely gonna need some ice water. All right, beautiful souls. For those of you tuning in after the live, please do check the pinned comment below if you want to skip straight ahead into the breath work, the sound healing, or right into the tarot reading. Thank you all for being here. I am very excited about tonight's live. I feel that way with every live. I really enjoy this and connecting with you all, my chosen family. So I am going to try now and add in a poll in the live chat to see if I can't allow you all to vote on which deck I begin with tonight. So let's see if I can do this. Bear with me. Sunny, thank you as always to my moderator for keeping the vibration in the live. Hi, friendly. Greatly appreciative for you, Sunny. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see if I can add in this live chat. I don't think it's going to give me the option on here. Bummer. I really wanted to add in a voting for you all in the live chat. A poll so you could choose which tarot deck you're connecting with tonight. And I would go ahead and open the reading with that tarot deck. But for some reason, it doesn't want to. Let me see. Yeah, it's supposed to be right at the bottom of the screen, but I'm not getting anything. I can add a highlight, I can bookmark, I can share it. All right, I guess maybe not this time. Give me one more moment. If you're here and you're ready for this topic, if the thumbnail called to you, maybe you yourself have been prophesizing some cataclysmic events or you've been having end of the world dreams. Regardless, I'm happy to have you here. Welcome back, Sebastos. Let me just take a moment and thank all of my loyal subscribers who continue to show up in the lives, under my community posts, my shorts, my videos. I greatly appreciate you all. I cannot tell you how much it means to me. So I wanted you all to vote in the chat, but since it's not working, instead, I'm just going to show you all the decks and allow you to comment it in the chat. I still want you to be able to have a say in which tarot deck we'd start with today. So without further ado, I'm going to grab those tarot decks, show them all to the camera. We will use more than one tarot deck tonight, of course, but I'll allow you all, my collective, to choose which one we begin with. All right. Once again, my moderator, Sunny, will be keeping the collective, the high vibration here in the chat. So if you're not here for the tarot and you're coming here to troll, you've picked the wrong channel because you will be removed. If the title didn't resonate with you, well, then just kindly exit stage left. Thank you all. Okay. I'm going to give you all 3 different decks to choose from that we're going to begin the tarot reading with tonight. And of course, if you're new to my channel, I always set the vibration first. So we'll do a little bit of breath work, a short sound session, nothing too long. So good things take time. Patience is key. First up, so we're going to go in order of 1, 2, or 3. Whichever deck you would like me to begin with, go ahead and leave it in the comments. So first up, one of my favorite decks, the Dust to Onyx. Has beautiful, beautiful artwork here in the deck. Melanated artwork. It's velvety, smooth. That is deck number 1. Deck number 2, the Magic of Tarot. So I'll let you all choose from the deck that we're going to begin with tonight. We will be using more than one deck to clarify different cards. Deck number 3, Mystic Mondays deck. So if you're here in the chat and you want to interact, you want to maybe even add your energy into this reading, comment below. Would you like for me to start with deck 1, deck 2, or deck 3? And as I grab my singing bowl to prepare our intro, I'll let you all leave that in the chat, and then I will begin with the most popular vote. I have ice water because excessive heat made it through. Today's the last day of the heat wave, at least for now. I don't normally drink ice water. I like room temp, but it is so hot. I have no other choice but to drink ice water tonight. Okay. A little bit of 432 hertz. I'm of course going to add water to the singing bowl to amplify the vibrations. I have a candle here to the right, a blue candle that I will light before we dive into the tarot, just to keep our energy protected, call upon our benevolent spiritual warrior ancestors, and allow that blue to symbolize the throat chakra tonight, so that all things that come from my mouth are truth through this divine channel, not being afraid to say what comes to light. So if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for being here. My name is Amber, aka the Pathless Woods 333. We always begin with 3 rounds of breath and a little bit of sound. So let us begin now. If you're in a safe space to do so, you might close your eyes and just allow your shoulders to relax away from your ears. Noticing if you're breathing short, shallow breaths, and just allowing your breath to deepen, tuning into your body. And now together, let's take a deep inhale in through our nose and sigh it out through the mouth. Once again, deep inhale through your nose. This time, releasing back through the nose. And for our 3rd round of breath, the deepest inhale you've taken all day, possibly even all year, in through the nose. Taking an extra sip of air if you can. And let it go heavy. Beautiful. Now I'm going to play the singing bowl for about 60 seconds or less, so hang tight before we dive into the tarot, and then I will check the chat to see which deck you all voted on to use first tonight. Please turn down your volume just in case this is loud for the collective. Beautiful chosen family, my chosen tribe. Go ahead and leave it in the comments where you felt this singing bowl resonate. Which part of your body did you feel that frequency, if anywhere? Oopsie, I'm hitting the microphone. Please excuse me. Okay. Now let's see. We have a couple votes for deck number 3, one for number 2. And don't worry if your deck wasn't chosen. We will use all of the decks, but we are going to begin with deck number 3. Now, of course, disclaimer, I always want to remind you, use your own intuition. Your intuition should act as a filter for these public collective readings, because I'm not tuning in just one-on-one. If you would like a private reading, check out the description. Otherwise, take what resonates with you, leave the rest of the messages for another chosen soul who may be needing to hear that. But tonight is a little bit of a different style reading, because if the title resonated with you, fire truck going on in the background, always commence my reading with a bit of noise in the background, right? So if this title resonated with you, I just want to put up this disclaimer. As always, my readings are never intended to fearmonger, but instead to equip the Divine Collective with the spiritual tools, divine protection, and knowledge along your awakening journey. So in other words, I help supply the tools, but I can never tell you what to build with the tools. You always maintain free will. Same goes for the reading. Use your own intuition to filter whatever does not resonate with your soul. What I do ask, though, is because I'm planting the seed, you always have free will to water the seed. If you choose not to, that is completely fine, but please do not stomp on my garden in the process. Thank you so much. Now, today's title, the reason I want to do this type of reading is for a couple years now, I've been having I've had prophetic dreams, more so usually within my familial line, within my immediate circumstances. But more so, my dreams have turned worldly in the last just upwards of 2.5 years. And I know I'm not the only one experiencing this. So this is really to bring a bit of insight, to dive a little bit deeper into why we may be having these premonitions, these dreams, and see what we can't pull out. I've been picking up on an energy, and I want to say this before we dive in. I've been picking up on an energy that those below are hungry. Now, take that as you might. Those below are hungry. And with that, I am getting that this is why we're seeing an uptick in human, you know what, where they're taking humans, women, children. I think we're seeing such an uptick in this because it is a large, organized crime in which they are snatching babies, they are snatching people, and the powers that be, those who are hungry below. This reading is not for everyone. We're getting right to the nitty gritty. So if it's not for you, that's okay. Check back on the next one. Or there are a lot of other great readers here on YouTube. But those below are hungry. And so what they're doing is they're binge feeding us fear through the news, through the media, and it's not working like it used to. The veil is thinning. There's this mass awakening that is happening, and the collective vibration is rising. And so they have to inundate us with so many pieces of low vibrational information, low vibrational GMO food, all the ways in which they can keep our vibration low and scare us. And because that's not working like it used to, they have resorted to an uptick in snatching women and children, traffic, okay, as well as harnessing their energy. And I can only imagine what else is going on that we couldn't even fathom. With that being said, those below are hungry. And some of them are so impatient because they're no longer able to feed off of our adrenochrome. that they're actually coming up from below. And this is why we are seeing so many shadow beings, not just out of our peripherals anymore, but right in front of us. People who didn't used to see things now are seeing clearly. So many sirens going off since I started this reading. I don't know if that's confirmation from spirit or the monitoring spirits trying to throw me off of my flow state right now. But those below who are not being fed, who are hungry, they're coming up now to the surface level. They're revealing themselves out of their desperation for our fear, for harnessing our energy. Okay? So, this end of the world, while cataclysmic events may also unfold, if you're into what I'm talking about, I did an end of the world tarot reading that I'm not going to share here on YouTube. It is exclusively on my Patreon. If that's your cup of tea, join the Patreon in the description. I shared a reading there with my own personal beliefs of some of the events I think are going to happen. But truthfully, right now, I just believe that many people are awakening and those below are hungry. Therefore, they're coming up, they're surfacing. We're seeing them. People are recording things flying through the sky that they've never seen before. If you've been seeing an uptick in supernatural or paranormal events, leave it in the comments and just let me know. Or say 333. Hello, New Waters. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy to have you all here tonight. So let's go ahead and get into the reading. But that is, I wanted to say that in case any cards came out to confirm that those below are hungry, which is why we're seeing an uptick in the traffic of humans, which is why we are seeing more entities, shadow beings on this 3D plane. Things are changing. These cataclysmic events are unfolding, and only those in the high vibration do I personally believe are going to be able to ascend and or survive what is to come. Once again, this is not to fearmonger. This is preparedness, okay? Without further ado, let's light the blue candle, honoring our benevolent ancestors, specifically calling upon our spiritual warrior ancestors, those who had a mission to fulfill, and you are that continuation of the mission, and they are going to be at your aid, available for you to call upon. Spirit, please show, my beautiful collective, what it is that they need to see. Woo, cards are flying out tonight. Okay. Well, for all of you who voted for deck number 3, this deck was certainly ready to talk. I'm going to try and align them in the order in which they came out. Don't worry, I'll hold each one up to the screen. Take another sip of my cold water because it is so roasty toasty in here. Happy to see some of my returning subscribers. Peace to you, King Artorius. Haven't seen that name in a while. Happy to have you here. New Waters, Sunny, Sebastos, AD. All right, let's get to it. So first we have the Four of Swords. What a beautiful card to come out after speaking about those below are hungry. Because with this Four of Swords, I often see or think of someone who is lying in a coffin. And now, as always, this is not to fearmonger. Please only take what resonates with you. They say that sleep is the cousin of death. So for many of you, you are receiving these incredibly divine downloads when you're in your sleep state. You are being gifted these jewels, these gems. For some of you, specifically through your crown chakra, through your hair. And now I know some of you know this new sun that we have going on is frying everything. My plants, even through the window, are getting burn marks. So some of you may want to protect your hair during certain hours of the day. But for others, during that early morning sun or golden hour sun, you may want to let your hair out, because your hair, much like especially curls, they look like coils, conductors of energy. And the kinkier your hair, the quicker the transmission of the download. Some of you need to spend time in nature to receive an influx of information from your divine ancestors. And specifically, I'm getting your warrior ancestors coming through with the swords. Now, the swords are often about the mind, analyzing things. And you can see that depicted here. She has one sword over her body as protection, and the rest of her swords lie in her mind. No such thing as coincidence. Many of you, your ultimate weapon is your mind. If you follow me for a while, you know I'm all about etymology of words casting spells. That's why they call it spelling. And with that, I'm getting the word government. I saw this yesterday and it reminded me, I hadn't seen it for a couple years. But ment meaning mental and to govern. So government isn't to just control your actions, they're meant to control your mind. Because if you control someone's mind, well, then you know that you control their actions. It's much easier to lock in or cage in someone's mental and then know that they're going to behave in a manner in which you expect. So many things coming through with this. Specifically, I'm getting for some of you a maternal ancestor. This could be on your mother's side, or it could be on your father's side, but it could be a grandmother or an aunt. But this person is instilling upon you these jewels. They want you to pick up where they left off in their lifetime. They were specifically waiting for this moment in time, my beautiful chosen family, in order to see someone reincarnate here to fulfill the mission that they set out to. And so the more you connect with them, the more, the more you meditate, the more you eat high vibrational foods, the more you're going to receive these direct downloads. And you're going to wonder, how do I even know this? I've said it in many videos, but especially since that Lionsgate portal, your DNA is unlocking, it's activating, it has been, but things are speeding up now. And so with this Four of Swords, the four gives off balance. You are going to be feeling balanced. For those of you whose voice shakes or your hands tremble when you're trying to give a message or speak your truth, that's no longer going to happen. It's as though whatever anyone says against you, you are here in this homeostasis, knowing that you have reserves here. And for many of you, much like in the last reading, it is going to be your silence around the people who aren't ready to hear what you're saying that is going to speak volumes, knowing when to speak and knowing when to be quiet. For some, this may be someone passed on who was even in the military, I'm receiving. Their favorite color may have been green or blue. And this may resonate. This is only going to resonate with a small few of you. I've been having dreams myself in which it feels as though there's a presence outside. And in every dream, the same few things happen. It starts with an animal in my dream beginning to act funny, almost as if rigor mortis is setting into their body. So they start collapsing or walking funny, and that's always the first indication that the dream is going to take a turn. The second thing that always happens is my hair stands completely up on end, much like what looks like's happening here. And the third thing is I look in the mirror and I can see myself, which doesn't happen very often in dreams. If you know, you know. And so with this, I often feel as though, even though I can't see outside of my home what presence is there, I can tell that whatever entity is outside, it's having an effect on me. Now, I've often written this off to astral travel or a failed out-of-body experience, but for some, this is memories coming back from childhood of your abductions, alien abductions. That's going to only resonate with some. Take it or leave it. Some of you have been dreaming of being a bride or being a groom. You may even see your soul family or your future spouse in your dream, but you know you've never met this person in real time. With this card, though, because tonight's focus is on the end of times prophecy, I am getting that there is going to be an awakening of your ancestral line. All of the DNA that has laid dormant for generations for some of you is being activated. You have an entire spiritual army around you. And then next you have the Four of Wands. So double fours here. Maybe for some of you, you've been seeing 444 a lot on the clock. For others, 222. For others, the 8 with this double four here. But this is all about, as you can see, solid foundation. This is about you building something, specifically building a channel between the divine and the 3D, the fifth or fourth dimension and the third. And these pillars are your subconscious when you're asleep, attaching and attracting those divine downloads that are going to help you as we maneuver through these next few months, few years. Everything is speeding up. So much is coming through here that a lot of you have been receiving many of your downloads in your dream state. And you might not remember them as soon as you wake up in the morning, but you are remembering as you go throughout your day. There are little symbols or trigger words, if you will, that bring you back to that dream you had or what felt like a dream. Some of you are traveling to other dimensions. You're living out your other lives in your dream state. And if you've been experiencing, if you know what the Mandela effect is, let me know in the chat. But let me know as well if you've been experiencing an influx of your present memories not aligning, or the present narrative not aligning with your past memories. We've had Mandela effects for years now, but I truthfully believe that the Hadron Collider that they have at CERN, they've been creating wormholes or something to that effect. And it is speeding up time, and it's making, one, the weather very weird. So many anomalies, they'll call them, on the weather charts. But also, I, I keep getting something about the ocean or something about beneath the water. And for those of you know that UFOs, UAPs, they don't come from above. That may be where you see them flying, but many of them come from below. So let me know if you've been experiencing that, if you've been experiencing this collapsing of time, memories that differ from you and your family, although you grew up in the same household, or collective conscious memories. For example, the Richard Simmons death, where people remembered him passing away in 2014 due to a wardrobe malfunction, and now it supposedly just happened this year. The Nelson Mandela effect, but there are so many that have been happening in just the last few months, specifically since that solar eclipse. Now, I do want to take a moment too of what prompted this reading, aside from dreams, aside from these divine downloads, is that truthfully, when we speak of things like this, it can be considered fear mongering. Many people aren't on the vibration to even want to hear it. But I know if this title resonated with you, you all have been experiencing this in your own time and you're looking for confirmation from someone else, as am I, okay? Things are going to be rapidly changing. It is imperative at this time that you, on the 3D level, prepare your vessel with high vibrational foods, a plethora of clean drinking water if possible, and even some swords, if you know what I mean, to keep yourself and your family protected if need be. Power outages are speeding up. They've been happening now, especially around where I live, just in small areas. A good portion of the grocery store was out. And so, once again, this is not to fearmonger, but what is the point of having these divine downloads if you can't share them with those you love, or if you can't share them with the collective so others can heed the warning? Yes, Sunny, the Britney Spears with the headset one always gets me. And you said, Sebastian says, I know for a fact because I was in Kmart wondering why they would have had that behind the fruit. Oh, Fruit of the Loom. Yes, with the Fruit of the Loom, they have the cornucopia, or it used to have the cornucopia, and now they want us to all believe that it didn't. These are proofs in our physical that they've been tearing these wormholes, and the effects we're seeing of that aren't just mixed memories throughout the collective conscious. It's also this extreme weather. And Mother Earth, she knows what she's doing. She's purging what does not belong. And she will continue to react until she comes back into balance, until she comes back into homeostasis. So if there's one piece of knowledge that you can take from tonight's reading, know that you are divinely guided and protected. And one of the best things you can do for yourself is to live in alignment with nature. Have respect for Mother Nature. She is not witchcraft. The earth, the moon, the stars, the sun, the water is not witchcraft. It is simply giving you life. It is your sustenance, okay? And the sun being that masculine energy, the water and the moon being that divine feminine, respecting Mother Earth says so much. I can always tell a lot about how a man or a woman would treat me based upon how they treat the earth. If I see you throw litter on the ground, then I can only imagine how you treat your own body. If you treat the world's home with no respect, that lets me know you don't have any respect for yourself. That's my soapbox moment of the night. If you're here in the chat, it's resonating, make sure to give a like. Share the live so it can reach more of the collective. We can connect with more of our chosen family and tribe. Yep, Shazam, exactly. Thank you, Sunny. 333. Let's keep moving forward. Next, we have number 17, which is the 8 in numerology, the star. Many of you here, your stars. You felt it since you came earthside, that there's something about you that's different, whether that be that you crave to be a celebrity or fame, that's neither here nor there, but it's more so you knew you stood out. You knew you were different. You knew that when you turned on your light, it almost hurt other people at how bright you shined. And so you spent so much of your life either retreating or turning the brightness down because it was just too much for their eyes, too much, because you spent so much of your life trying to assimilate with everyone else, because we all want to be accepted. We all crave, as humans, divine connection and community. But chosen, you don't desire to be relatable. And so you have to remember, when you're not relatable, it's going to be much more rare for you to run into other star seeds like yourself. And so I don't say this to tell you to isolate or to be mean to other people or to think you're above or better. It's just simply, as a chosen one, you answered the call. You're here in this lifetime to fulfill a mission. And in order to do so, you need to shine bright, unapologetically. This is also, once again, confirming that Four of Swords, your divine connection to the stars, to your benevolent ancestors, to your home planet, to your galactic family. If you know you were born to be a star, to make a change, to shine bright, leave a star in the chat. Some of you, this is coming in with the end of the world. We're going to be seeing snow where we're not supposed to see snow. This weather modification, as well as these wormholes that are being created through the collapsing of time and space, we're going to be seeing weather anomalies, weather phenomenon, okay? For some of you, you may look up into the sky and see many light orbs or light beams. It's going to look as though there's an alien invasion, but they're going to write it off on the news as videos come through as some type of particles in the air mixing with the temperature and yada, yada, yada. You get the point. They're going to explain away what your third eye is seeing because the veil is thinning. They can only lie to people who don't know they're being lied to. That's why it's so important that we unify, that we unite. So many downloads are coming through. So many downloads are coming through right now. Thank you, the real Furious Pharaoh. Happy to have you here as well. So happy that I have so many people returning. It's nice to see you. Nice to see that the content is resonating with you, that these divine downloads are speaking to you. With this star energy, I'm going to come back to this because I'm getting so many downloads right now. It's almost overwhelming. So please bear with me. This isn't usually how my tarot readings go. I'm getting so many downloads. I can't say that enough. Some of you are having dreams about asteroids or large comets or rocks hitting the earth. That's going to resonate with some of you. For others, it may be this fireball, or it may quite literally be the stars falling, all of the stars falling from the sky, or a large portion of them falling. Because if you know, they're inside of the firmament, if you know about the different layers of the heavens, right? And these stars, for some of you, even if you were to look out your window right now and it's a clear night, you're going to see the stars this close. There's going to be one that speaks out to you. And I do challenge you to do this tonight, even if you pause the live now or you wait till after. Go and look out at the sky if it's a clear night and if you have visibility, and see which star first piques your interest. If you have that app, it can tell you which star that is. That may be your home planet. That may be your galactic family. Wish upon that star, pray upon that star, and ask for divine guidance, protection, and direction from your benevolent ancestors, from your cosmic family, not just the fleshly, earthly ones who are your bloodline, but the planet in which you descended from to come here to fulfill this mission. We are Bunny. Yes, good energy. Happy to have you here. Yes, Sunny, Star Walk is the name of the app. I believe it's free for a week. It might be 99 cents a month. So I'm not making any money from Star Walk. I'm just saying, if there's a star that speaks to you and you want to know which planet that is, Star Walk will let you know. And that may send you on a deeper dive into your cosmic ancestry. Now, next we have the Lovers. This is Gemini energy coming in here. This is what I was gathering earlier about some of you dreaming about your future spouse or twin flame. It may even be a business partner if you're already happily committed. But you've been dreaming about someone or some place that you know you've never been in the 3D world yet. But you're dreaming of this person or of this place because it is going to unfold. I'm hearing paradise for some of you. And for others, that may be a pair, hiccups. It may be a pair of dice, a pair of die. I don't know if you play dice or if you use dice, like Yahtzee, but also paradise. Okay, and paradise comes from within. It's going to be that unlocking of your third eye and your crown chakra. For many of you, this love is going to be the love you're giving yourself. All of that turmoil, all of the trials and tribulations that you've been through that led you to this very moment today they have pushed you to a point of retreating within yourself, to realizing that the ultimate love comes from within. Sky Map is free. Okay, awesome. Sky Map is free. I think Star Walk is free for like a week or a month, and then they charge you 99 cents. So thank you for that, New Waters. Appreciate it. I keep sipping water because it's so hot here. I'm always sipping a lot of water, but even more right now. Now, this is number 6. So be on the lookout. Some of you are going to see a license plate specifically with a 66 on it. 66 specifically. This may be in alignment with Route 66, an old movie. Some of you may be on a road trip or getting ready to take one. But I see many of you, especially for those of you who've been feeling a bit alone on this path, you're going to connect with your chosen tribe, not just here in a chat or online, but in the physical, in the flesh. And I encourage you all to find those people who you trust as we enter into these trying times, because not everyone is to be trusted. Okay. Next, you have the Fool. Ah, what a pretty little fool. Numbered 0 in the tarot deck. It's numbered 0 because it comes right after the world, after death. So with this Fool, this is all about new beginnings, leap of faith. So if we're talking the end of the world here, some of you are moving out of blind faith right now. Some of you are surrounded by family members who are burying their head in the sand. They see the dollar dropping, they see the currency dropping, they see the food getting smaller and the prices going higher, They see the plastic in everything. They know that their bodies are full of toxic chemicals. They know that the air is poisonous, and yet they're still blissfully ignorant. I use the word ignorant because they're purposefully ignoring the signs. Whereas you, it's almost like you're up on Pride Rock here. So many Simba references this week. Something is stuck to the card. But you're up here on Pride Rock, and it's like you're trying to wake everybody up. You're like, come on, come this way. The sky is falling, Chicken Little. The thing about the Fool is they are moving and operating out of blind faith. They know so much so that they are divinely connected. And you can see it's almost, I've never really paid a lot of attention to this deck, but she's holding this up towards the sun as if it's an offering. So once again, there's that confirmation from spirit of your divine connection, of spending more time in nature. And you can even see her hair standing almost straight up here. Some of you may be seeing roses this week, specifically a silver, like a spray painted rose, or a blue rose. Be on the lookout for that. Many women with red lips in this deck that I'm noticing. With this Fool, though, she doesn't know what's below her, but she jumps off the cliff on blind faith, knowing that she's going to be caught by her ancestors or by a net or by the water. It's not going to be too high up. It's going to be just right, just there and perfect. And many of you, that's where you're operating right now. Things aren't how they should be, but you know that everything is unfolding for you in divine timing. And next you have these final two cards here in this deck. I'm going to put them together because so much is coming out about a divine union, partnership, soul tribe. And here you have the Princess and the Knight of Cups. These are soul family, twin flames, soul mates, okay? And you can see here her connection. She's like has this cup and she's allowing it to levitate between her hands. She's surrounded by what seems to be water and tiny moons, and you can see one just above her head, her connection with that moon, that divine feminine energy. This goes for my males and females. Thank you so much, Sunny, for sending a donation. I am greatly appreciative to anyone who leaves a donation for this energy exchange. If you'd like to, just check out the pinned comment above. I greatly appreciate you. Thank you so much. For others, I'm getting you have the divine gift of telekinesis, of moving things, airbender, waterbender, moving solids. And it's going to be directly connected to your heart chakra and your solar plexus. Your heart chakra being the color green, your solar plexus being the color yellow, and that goes hand in hand with Leo, as We Are Bunny said. Now, the Princess of Cups themselves, this is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. That watery connection is what allows you to have such a clear channel to the divine. So many of these messages are coming out. It's like I'm picking up on the energies of the chat way more than I'm picking up on the energy of what I came here to talk about, which was the end of times. So as we move into the next deck, that's what we're going to focus on. But also, I feel as though sharing my gift with you, that is part of my soul's mission. And so who am I to obstruct the messages coming through, even if they're not in alignment with what I want to talk about? Okay. Next, you have the Knight of Cups, standing on that same type of platform that she has here. Only the woman, the princess, is seated, whereas the knight is standing. The knight is fast moving. This is going to be someone who comes in quick, fast, in a hurry. They may leave just as quickly as they came in. I will say this person does a good job of balancing themselves. It's almost like business on the top, party on the bottom. But with this cup in hand, this person is going to be coming in with an offer. They have no tricks up their sleeve. As you can see, their other hand. Many magicians will hold the other hand behind their back or make you look in this one as they do the switcheroo in the other. But this person's going to come correct, whether this be in business, in love, a healing of an old friendship or familial relationship. But they're going to make a big emotional offering here. It's going to be tied into emotions, and it may take place near water or have something to do with water. But when this person comes in, do be mindful the night is fast moving, so they can be very impulsive. And just as quickly as they offer something, they may put a time limit on it. If you don't respond or give me an answer in 7 days, well, then I retract my offer. Be mindful of anyone coming in on that type of time constraint with you. But I am getting very benevolent feelings with this Knight of Cups. I do feel like this person doesn't have anything to hide, and this offer that they're bringing in is very genuine. It's going to fill your cup, and it's also going to fill theirs. So as they start to sweat from your lack of immediate response, maybe as how you used to respond to them, that may prompt them to try to speed up your response. Pay attention to someone who can't just sit in their emotions and allow you to make a solid decision. That's the only warning I would say with that there. Okay, so we opened with that deck. We are now going to jump into, I'm going to go with this Dust to Onyx deck for some end of the world cards. And don't worry, so I believe Sebastios, you voted for deck number 2. We'll also use that deck for any clarifying. Spirit guides, the Most High, my benevolent spiritual warrior ancestors, I am calling upon you now for divine insight, a clear channel into the prophesizing of the end of times, the dreams that myself and the collective that have been having. What divine guidance and clarity can you offer us during these times? If you're here in the chat and you're enjoying the message, be sure to give it a like. I greatly appreciate all of the support. It truly means the world to me. And for a reading that is, as I said at the beginning, this is just for anyone who's new in the chat. For a reading that is strictly, I pulled 4 cards on the end of the world, and that is strictly on my Patreon. Check the description for that reading. It is only about the end of the world or the end of times. Tonight's, because it's a live chat, I'm picking up on so many energies, so bear with me. You can't rush spirit. All right, we had a card trying to jump out, so I'm going to take that one face down. Won't even look at it. Spirit, please and thank you. This is a hard deck to shuffle, but I absolutely love the imagery, and it was calling to me. This is the deck I used for the end of the world reading. Let's see what we have. Okay. Bottom of the deck, you have the Hermit. Number 9 in the tarot deck. If you've been seeing 333, drop a 333 in the chat. This is all about that third eye chakra. You can see it's illuminated with a purple gem here. My light is kind of making it a funny color, but the Hermit is all about that innate wisdom. It's about spending so much time in the darkness that you become the light. All you can see in the darkness is yourself. So for those of you who've been in isolation, for those of you who've retreated, you have so much wisdom at this time. Oh my goodness. So many tarot readers, clairvoyants, seers, healers, spiritual teachers here in the chat. I'm overwhelmed by how much of my chosen family is here with me tonight, and it truly makes me so happy. We'll dive more into that Hermit, but let's begin with the first card. We have the 6 of Coins, which is the 6 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. The Pentacles is all about earth. I am definitely getting earthquakes here, tsunamis, which I've shared on this channel with my end of the world dreams. You can see here that there are pentacles resting in the moon, in the crescent of the moon. And this is about what the moon looks like right now. But they're dropping into the water. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are falling from the moon. It's as though the moon is only equipped to hold 2 of them. And this totally confirms what I had envisioned in my reading on my Patreon. So I'm going to say it here because it's a different card, but it's giving the same energy. Only 2 out of the 6 coins are safe here within the moon's divine feminine protection. So once again, heed the warning. Live in alignment with nature. We're not stomping on spiders. We're not littering in 2024 anymore, okay? With this, I am getting 20% of people will ascend. The other 80% will be here to have to answer to behavior. I am not God. I never claimed to be. But 80% of people will be coming to judgment, if you will, while the other 20% up at the top will remain divinely guided and protected. It's as though Mother Earth is purging those who do not respect her. The same way that us in our human experience, we allow people sometimes to treat us as less than, but we get to a point, a breaking point where, and it may not even be a breaking point, it may be a point of elevation in which you love yourself so deeply that you cannot even entertain people who don't see your value anymore. And this is what Mother Earth is doing. She's shaking herself free from these energies and entities who don't respect her, despite her giving the divine sustenance for survival. And so she doesn't do this out of malice. She does it for her own protection, to save herself so that she can grow wild and be free once again. These cataclysmic events, I'm seeing great floods, tsunamis, earthquakes. The earthquakes may trigger these tsunamis. Many of you in my collective have been having these tsunami dreams. If you have, drop a wave in the chat or let me know. Yes, laying low and waiting. Lynn said, my ruthless ancestors down under are here. I see them. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And you can see it's not as though these coins are falling straight to the bottom. Some are floating. Some is just going to have to go through this period of survival, of awakening. So the point here is, if you're on this awakening journey and you're fulfilling your role and doing what you're supposed to do, there is nothing to fear. Okay? If it is your time, it is your time. But for many of you, you are divinely guided and protected. Death in the physical is not something to fear. Your energy is infinite. It is abundant. It will continue on without the vessel. The coins is all about Mother Earth with the pentacle. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, you may be here in the chat. And you can just see these two just cozy right at the moon, watching everyone else have to fight for their survival. Those words came through very specifically, fighting for survival. And so for those of you who live in big cities like myself, you may want to have you a family member or somewhere you can go, because people in the city who claim to be civilized, they're going to get to acting real crazy really quickly. It's only going to take a few days before people are thirsty, they're hungry, they're willing to do whatever for their families. And especially in major cities, sewage is going to become a health crisis when it backs up. So let's move forward. I know your ancestors are here, because if you could see these cards, I hope you stick around for this reading, because it's getting juicy now. We have nothing but hierarchy and major arcana in these cards, and minor arcana. So let's move. We have Mama Blade, Queen of Swords. If that's not your benevolent spiritual team, I don't know who is. This person is fully shrouded in armor, divine protection, a beautiful auric field, and confirmation, there's the fire truck in the background again. Mama Sword, she can cut you not just with her tongue, but she's also prepared in spirit and in flesh for war as well. Big message. Prepare your physical vessel. I cannot say that enough. Walk in nature more. Walk to the grocery store. At the very minimum, park your car far away from the grocery store. Don't get the closest spot just because it's available. Your fitness is going to aid in your survival. If this unfolds as how I'm prophesizing it to, your fitness is going to play a huge role. But deeper than your physical vessel is your spiritual vessel, your connection to the divine. They're going to be there ready to pull out their swords and defend you at any cost. Because right now there's a spiritual warfare going on, and it's been going on since the time you came Earthside. There are wars and battles being fought, seen and unseen. And for many of my chosen family who are here in the chat, you see it. You see what is not supposed to be seen. When you watch a movie, when you watch the news, if you even watch the news anymore, you see things for exactly what they are, not as how they're being fed to you. You can even see what looks to be like a pine cone here. And the pine cone is that representation of the pineal gland, of that third eye activation. And here we even have the color, the indigo, the violet, as well as in the back for that crown chakra activation for your third eye. Avoid conflict or conversations in regards to the globe at this time. I'm being told it's trivial. It's trivial to speak to people. If they don't know by now, they may not know in this lifetime. It may not be meant for that person to wake up, okay? I'm also seeing jellyfish. So as we've been seeing, many things are coming out, different oceanic beings from below. And this ties into what I said earlier about those below are hungry. I believe UFOs come from beneath the sea, as well as I believe there are many underground tunnels and cities, whether they be left over from the mud flood from Tartaria, or whether they be utilized for the powers that be, these organized criminals, for the trafficking of human goods, okay? But those below are hungry. And that's why you're seeing, in the same way we're seeing it in the spiritual realm, and where we're seeing an uptick in shadow beings emerging, and we're seeing those who are no longer feeding off of our fear coming up from below. We're also seeing these creatures in the ocean that haven't been visible or seen for hundreds of years, and now they're showing themselves. And so the question is, what's going on that is disturbing them from their resting place? Because as above, so below. In this case, I think as below, so below. What's happening beneath the ocean is happening beneath our feet. It may be the earthquakes, it may be the heat that's allowing these things to rise up, but expect to see many things. I'm specifically getting some type of weird jellyfish that you're going to be seeing here. They may come out with what they call the silver jelly. Very, very random, but I'm not going to block anything that's coming through in tonight's live. I'm also getting the discovery of another pyramid, and this may be, I'm getting in Guatemala. This may also be an unearthing of a pyramid here in the United States, specifically in California. If you've been seeing, Palos Verdes, they've been having these sinkholes opening up. The earth has been splitting for the last couple months, and they just now, a few days ago, declared a state of emergency in regards to this. So what you're seeing in the physical, the new things you're seeing in the physical are also taking place in the spiritual. So a clear message from your maternal, benevolent spiritual warriors. Don't get so caught up in the 3D that you're missing what's happening in the spiritual. And on that same token, don't get so caught up in the spiritual that you're not taking care of your physical vessel for whatever is to come. Finding that balance. And many of you, I know you found that balance because here you had the 9, the hermit, with that awakening, that ultimate enlightenment. Your focus is tunnel vision. Tunnel vision. For some of you, this may literally be in tunnels. Some of you may find your escape routes and move beneath these tunnels, okay? Moving in the darkness as to not be seen. Some of you, when these things unfold, you're going to be called to move during the nighttime. Some people in the chat, a certain races of people, they move at night for a reason, okay? When they're moving homes, they don't want people to see what they have. It's just like that, but this is going to be for your life or for the spiritual war. And there's something about this darkness that is going to illuminate your third eye, and you're going to be able to see more clearly than you've ever seen in the dark. So maybe you start to take, of course, be safe, protect yourself, especially women and children and small people. Take more night walks and allow your eyes to adjust in the darkness, because it's going to come in handy if these transformers blow, if these power outages that I've been having premonitions about for almost 3 years now, when they go out and there's no lights except the stars in the sky, you're going to need your two eyes to be able to see. And I truly believe that the body can heal itself. So when you take more night walks, the eyes adjust, much like your camera lens focuses in and out. Your eyes will begin to adjust to the fact that you're walking more frequently during the nighttime, and that will aid in improving your vision. Don't quote me on that. Research it for yourself, okay? If you're here in the chat, you're enjoying these messages, be sure to like the live. Drop a 333 if you're enjoying this. Okay. Moving forward, this goes hand in hand with the Hermit. We have suspension. Suspension, which is the Hanged Man in the traditional tarot deck. So here's what they look like upright. And you can almost see shoulder pads, armor. So much has been coming through in my spiritual vision about armor, protecting yourself, having body armor if possible, vests even. And for others, I'm hearing life jackets, okay? Because you can be the greatest swimmer, but if you bump your head, you're going to need something to keep you afloat. If you escape to the water from whatever is to come, you're going to need that life jacket for when you tire, for when you need to sleep, okay? Life jackets and armor. But for many of you, this isn't, once again, to fearmonger. This is very much going to be spiritually. You're spiritually protected. Some of you have been seeing this face. I'm sorry, this took me. Some of you have been seeing this shadow figure, this face. If you have, leave it in the chat. Oh, I missed Lynn's comment. Whoops. You've been seeing this tall shadow figure outside of your window in the corner of the room. Very specific message for one of my chosen ones out there. While you're in suspension, the Hanged Man is often described as someone who doesn't know which way to go. Do I go left? Do I go right? It's analysis paralysis. It's the Virgo. This is also number 12, which is the 3 in numerology. That 3 keeps coming out tonight. But suspension, or the Hanged Man, is much about creating a plan of action, being calculated, and knowing which move you're going to make next. You could hop down from that hanged position at any point, but you're taking this aerial view. You're taking stock, taking account of everyone and everything around you, and predicting how they may move at this end of times. I'm seeing there's someone, even specifically a female energy, who's climbing this ladder or trying to sneak in through this door on the side. You can see a leg in some nylons here. And this person, whoever this is, they're still very deep in the matrix, but something about you intrigues them because they're trying to climb this ladder or climb this window just to peek at you while you're in suspension. They want to know what's going on. Why do you come into a room and say nothing, but your energy speaks volumes? This may be a monitoring spirit. However, you're impenetrable with this armor, with this divine protection from your ancestors, from your spiritual team. The Hanged Man and the Hermit, they go hand in hand. When you're in suspension, when you're in this hermit mode, this is often when you receive the most downloads, because you're not distracted by the 3D matrix or by the goings on of your friends and your family, not because you don't love them, of course, but just because you're so innately focused on you. This is very much giving Sigma energy, Sigma males, Sigma females. If you know, you know. Just know that anyone who's been lurking in the shadows, who's been speaking ill upon you, who's been trying to pull you back down to a lower vibration. This card has been coming out quite a bit, but here's Justice. There's that balancing of the scales we were looking for. Thank you, Pharaoh 333. You even see this 8 almost on her chest, and its legs and a human body here. The scales almost look as though they have fish, but it's actually sand and gold. There are 3 owls here. One is right there at the crown of her head. So be on the lookout for owls, specifically white owls, barred owls, snow owls. And there are one on each side. So she has that pyramid, that divine connection to the spirit world, to the esoteric wisdom of her benevolent ancestors. Justice is all about karma being served in your favor. Karmic justice is being served upon the world right now. For those who have been caught up in the 3D and just the material, it's not going to be a pleasant experience for them. If they still are burying their head in the sand, it's not going to be a pleasant experience for them. You can see all of these ancestors. These almost look like scribes at the top of her crown here. These are scribes. We have 3 white owls and 4 scribes at the crown chakra, ready to rewrite her story as it was intended. All of the lies you've been told and sold are going to be resurfacing, and the truth will no longer be able to be ignored. Those who have been caught up in the materialism of this 3D plane, it's not going to be pretty. Relinquish that need. Now, there's nothing wrong. You shouldn't have to be spiritual as well as being broke, but know that true wealth is health. True wealth is knowledge. And as you unlock those levels, the abundance and the financial will come to you. But if you're chasing something, it's inevitably running from you. So we don't want to be chasing a bag or just chasing money or chasing gold, because karma is going to come in and balance that out. And they're watching. The things that have been done to you, my beautiful chosen tribe, that even you don't know about. The ill words that have been spoken upon your name in rooms that you had not been in, when you had no ability to defend yourself. It's all going to be handled karmically with this justice. Justice will rule in your favor. Yes, the armor of God, he or she, Mother Universe. So much feminine energy coming out tonight as well. And look at this. Strength, Leo. This is numbered 8 in the deck, and that's why we have the infinity around her eyes. You can see the Leo here, an immense amount of strength. And from this strength, from this hardship, is blooming not only coins and financial abundance, but this enlightenment, that 1,000 petaled lotus flower. I absolutely love this for the collective, because the things you've been in the past are preparing you for these end times, for what is to come. And for some, this end times, it may be just perceived as a new world. The way in which the world you lived before is no longer going to be a thing. We can watch that unfolding in front of our eyes at this time, with the rise of technology, the rise of AI, everything being genderless and non-conforming, okay? And through all of this change, you see clearly, because you have this divine infinity connection to the Most High. And there are those red lips again. Some of you in the chat may have been born in 89. All right, I'm going to pull lastly, I'm going to close out this reading with this deck. Be sure to like the live if you're enjoying. If you'd like a private one-on-one reading where I can connect to just your energy, check the description. If you want to access my exclusive end of times, end of the world tarot card pull, check the description to join the Patreon. And thank you again to Sunny for donating. I greatly appreciate it for this energy exchange. It is a labor of love I do it because I feel called to, but it is nice to know that it moved you to want to support in that way. So thank you so much. Oh, one just flew right out. We'll take that. We're going to end here. Queen of Cups as I split the deck. So many cups and queens coming out. One more shuffle here. Spirit, please show. All right. My beautiful collective. We'll take those 4 cards. They're just popping right out. So many swords. It's definitely we're preparing for war. Prepare for war. I don't want to fear monger, which is why I do encourage you to join the Patreon, because so much of what I want to say, I cannot say here. I'm already being limited reach when I don't go live, when I invest so much time collecting data, putting together videos, shorts, and then they barely reach anyone because YouTube's not pushing my content because of the things that I talk about. Whereas on Patreon, you pay a subscription fee, but I'm not censored. I can talk about everything and I don't have to use buffer words or filler words. Okay, 6 of Swords. Very much about analyzing. The 6 is going hand in hand here with that 6 of Coins. The 6 is coming out quite a bit. As I said earlier, if you weren't here in the chat, be on the lookout for that 6, specifically on a license plate or Route 66. You may hear that. Take stock of your surroundings when you hear that word. The 6, while one sword more than the 5, which is often depicted with sadness or dissatisfaction, the 6 is more balanced, but it's still not where you want it to be. So many of you are building up this inner strength, much like the strength card that we finished with the Dust to Onyx tarot deck. This is about you aligning with your soul tribe. This is about you taking in knowledge, knowing what pieces of, for many of you, I'm hearing you spend a lot of time on YouTube and you listen to a lot of different readers or you listen to a lot of different information. And so there's so much coming in at once, it's almost bombarding you and you may dream of it a lot. So just be mindful, okay, with this 6 of Swords of what you're taking in as truth, what's meant for you and what's not only in my own readings, but in all of your due diligence, your research outside of here. I specifically have someone in the chat or who will be watching this after it's live whose name starts with an R. It may be your first name or your last. I'm also getting Denver, Colorado. And I'm also hearing almost down. It's almost down. I'm not sure what that means, but I was being called to say it. I'm also hearing shh. There's something you want to share with someone and you've been excited about it. Maybe right now you're even waiting for a text back to share it or a call back. Now is not the time to share that. Ace of Wands. So many aces have been coming out. Aces of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, Ace of Wands in the last few readings. This lets me know victory, justice is going to be served. You have, for this to be an end of times reading, so many beautiful cards came out, from the Hermit to Strength to Justice to the Lovers. You can't make this up. With this Ace of Wands, this is victory and manifesting. So as I always say with this, be mindful of your thoughts, be mindful of the words you're speaking, because you are manifesting them at an amplified rate. This is also depicting you standing out amongst the crowd. Many of you may feel confident over the next couple weeks when you wear the color green or blue. That color is going to allow you to speak from an open heart and with an open throat chakra. And it's going to allow you to convey yourself in the way in which you want to be seen or heard. I'm also getting something again about the water levels rising. Don't worry about people's opinions. I'm specifically getting someone by the name of Connor, someone by the name of Stan. and Andrew. Those names are on this card. I also have Wallace. That may be someone's last name. I'm also seeing court. This may be King's Court. This may be you dressing for a Renaissance festival, or this could be you actually going to court for some matter. But with that Justice and this Ace of Wands, it's all about victory. Victory in legal matters, victory in battle, okay? Next, you have the Knight of Swords, fast-moving energy. This is going to be someone who's coming into your defense. For many of you, it's going to be those ancestors. If you know about the Hopi tribe Indians, the prophecies, they refer to their horses as dogs, sacred dogs. Some of you may be learning about the Hopi Indian tribe. I would love to dive deeper into that, but I think I'll just save that for my Patreon. This person is going to see someone. This may be someone who defends you when you're not around. This is the best type of ally, because whether this be your spirit team or this be someone in the flesh, this person, when they hear someone talking negatively about you or you're not there to defend yourself, they pull the sword out ready to defend you in your honor. This could be a romantic interest, or this could just be someone who loves you from the deepest depths of your soul. This is someone you can trust, and no such thing that they have armor on here. This is going to be someone you want on your spiritual team. This is going to be someone you want on your tribe when this end of times unfolds in whatever way it's meant to. These cataclysmic events, floods, tornadoes, tsunamis, it's going to affect different places of the world in different ways. But there's going to be someone who's going to ride in and be and want to be on your team before all of this begins to collapse, before the world as we know it changes. And what we're living in right now will be a Mandela effect for all we know. I'm also getting JJ. Maybe Knights of Columbus or some type of Freemasonry. I'm hearing of mice and men. Be mindful of snakes in the grass, whether that be physical, where you live, or someone posing to be a friend, someone posing, someone who may pretend to be this Knight of Swords. They may come to you and tell you who was just talking about you. But the question is, why do they feel comfortable? Why did that person talking about you feel comfortable saying it to them? So read between the lines. Don't accuse them. Don't be accusatory. Be quiet and allow them to tell you everything you need to know, and allow your own intuition to work for you to answer any questions you may have about this person. Final card for this reading to close out, we have the Two of Cups. Balance. This is reciprocity. You fill my cup, I fill yours. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. This is emotional fulfillment. This is you meeting your match, once again, in business, in a spiritual army, uniting with your chosen tribe, or in romance. Some of you may be sociology or biology majors. I'm also getting black seed oil or black walnut oil may be beneficial for you. Please always check with your healthcare provider. I am not a medical professional. And be mindful of someone who pops up every few weeks just to say, like, what's new? Like they're a monitoring spirit and they just want to see what's new in your world, because they're not getting that from you anymore and they're craving that energy. They're craving this emotional stability from you. Tonight's reading was supposed to just be about end of times prophecy, but the tarot really wanted, besides in the Dust to Onyx deck, the other two decks really mostly spoke about what's going on internally for many of you. And it is relevant because what you're experiencing, you have to heal it or elevate it in order to ascend and take it with you into these trying times that are upon us. They're already happening, just so you know. This isn't something you're supposed to fear in the future. It's already unfolding now. I'm going to check the chat before I sign out just to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Oh, you're presently a Yakama Indian Nation tribal member. I love to. I want. Do you speak a native language? I would love to know. I'm always intrigued. And if you live on a reservation, definitely drop it in the chat. But feel free to leave a comment on this once it's up. I'm going to go ahead and close out the live here. Beautiful souls, chosen family. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for all of your support, whether you sent a donation or you liked the live, you left a comment. All of your energy is currency, and I am truly grateful for it all. Until next time, I'm sending you peace, love, protection, and elevation in consciousness. Ashe.